Welcome to Bill and Rob's, an excellent adventure. I'm Bill Tilley.
And I am Grape Ape.
And I'm Magilla Gorilla.
Oh, wow. Who's that? It's Joe. Joe, we promised that you could come back.
You kept your promise.
At the after what did we watch? What was it that we watched where we were talking Planet? Oh, Nick Fury. Duh.
Yeah, the best Marvel movie ever made.
Yeah, I think we can all still stand by that.
Finally, everybody is finally on board with this with me. God, what a great day.
We're all on Bill's page.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, do you guys just want to watch that again and talk about it?
We'll be back in about an hour and a half, everybody.
Yeah, so David Hasselhoff wrangles some apes, and he's friends with Chris Christopherson, and Mark Wahlberg is there modeling underwear.
Wow. So we watched the 2001 Tim Burton Planet of the Apes, and I saw this in theaters, guys.
Same.
And we know you did too, Joe, because they had the gentleman who screamed at the end of the movie.
That's right.
Bill, did you see this in theaters?
Did not. Missed this one in the theaters.
Wow.
That's kind of surprising.
So, by the time this movie came out, I was a little bit burdened out on some stuff. So, he was hard and heavy into the movies back then. And by the time I'd plateaued somewhere around Edward Scissorhands and he got into the nightmare stuff, and I was like, I'm kind of done with this for a little while. So,
I mean, Scissorhands was good, right?
It was, but Burton's movies, you kind of have that Tim Burton look and feel.
Well, that was like, he didn't have anything before Scissorhands, right?
No, yeah, he definitely did. I mean, most importantly, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm talking movies, guys.
Yeah, the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
But wasn't that afterward?
No, that was in the 80s. Edward Scissorhands is 1990.
Sure, but what did Tim Burton do with Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
He directed it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
He sure did.
He's good friends with Paul Rubin. That's the reason why Paul Rubin's in Batman Returns, because they were friends.
Oh, that makes sense. Why isn't it on his IMDb page then? That's what I want to know.
You might be looking at the producer thing, because IMDb has changed its interface and is somehow worse.
Yeah, how do they do that? Why would they do that?
I think there's a special group of people these days that's all they do is look at everything and go, there's got to be a way to make this worse.
Okay, so we had Frankenweenie, then Pee-wee's Big Adventure, then Beetlejuice and Batman and Edward Scissorhands. That's right. I forgot Batman was 89 too.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, of course not, Bill.
He directed the Aladdin episode of Fairy Tale Theater.
Yes.
That's Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater. I watched that show recently, and the look of it really holds up. It's so bizarre.
Oh, wow. Very exciting.
Yeah. Check it out sometime. It's all on YouTube, I think.
So, Bill, you're telling me that after Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands, you were like, all right, Burton, I'm shelving you.
A little bit, it's just, it felt like the Tim Burton movie was kind of the Tim Burton movie, and you were going to get all the staples. You get the Danny Elfman score, you get kind of the dark and foreboding. Plus, Burton's well known for the fact, just like in Batman, he wasn't interested in Batman, he was interested in the Joker. So he's going to come at things from a different angle, which is fine. It's just, it was a lot in a small amount of time, and just for some reason, his version of Planet of the Apes just didn't interest me. Well,
and that's, 10 years later, which it's so weird looking back at now, because it feels like, after those movies, you got Batman Returns, you got Ed Wood, which is fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Mars Attacks, which was fun.
It was
super
indeed
fun.
Sleepy Hollow, which was kind of a flop, but some people tend to love it. Peter Madrigal of Vanderpump Rules loves Sleepy Hollow.
I think I'm in Peter's camp. I had not seen it until recently, just in the last year or so. I think it was a good, fun movie.
It is. I think it is a lot better than people remember it being, but I think it flopped in the theaters.
I can see why, because it's got that. It's not truly an action movie. It's not truly a horror movie. It's very much a emotional Tim Burton, moody, character-driven movie.
And Christopher Walken doesn't talk at all in it, which, why cast Christopher Walken?
Why doesn't he talk?
Because he's a headless horseman.
Oh, but they still cast him. They paid Christopher Walken to be in a movie and he does not talk.
I think if I'm remembering correctly, he doesn't talk.
He doesn't talk. He screams.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
And then we get Planet of the Apes 2 years later. Now, before I read the back, you know what? Actually, I will read the back of the box so that we can just get into this thing.
It's the motherfucking back of the box.
One of the harder VHS back of the boxes for me to find because I found one and I was like, this doesn't feel real. And then it looked like it was a fan-made one.
Fan-made Criterion version of Planet of the Apes.
The Etsy version of the VHS for Planet of the Apes 2000.
And it was definitely not written in that sort of way that was enticing at all. It's just like, here's what happens in the movie. So I ended up I found one on eBay that someone was selling and just took a look at it. Here it goes. Rule the planet with this thrilling action-packed epic from legendary director Tim Burton. After a spectacular crash landing on an uncharted planet, brash astronaut Leo Davidson finds himself trapped in a savage world where talking apes dominate the human race. Desperate to find a way home, Leo must evade the invincible guerrilla army led by Ruthless General Thade and his most trusted warrior, Attar. Now, the pulse-pounding race is on to reach a sacred temple that may hold the shocking secrets of mankind's past and the last hope for its salvation.
It's kind of ridiculous to call these apes savage. I mean, they're just doing what they think is best, man. They're just trying to put food on the table.
Yeah, and maybe you know what they could be doing, guys? They could be holding up a mirror to our society.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
Are you saying this is a parable that reflects upon our own world?
Whoa! Oh my God! Did any of the other ape movies do that, Bill?
I don't know. You're saying we are the apes and the apes are us? Dear Lord, what are we going to do?
Oh my God! Do we know why this movie got made? Is it a copyright thing where they're going to lose Spider-Man if they didn't make another Spider-Man movie sort of situation?
That's a good question.
I guess from what I'd read is there had been some talk around Hollywood for a while to try and do this. So this thing was in the hopper and had bounced around. And it looks like it was just a perfect combination of like, well, Tim Burton can do it. This sounds crazy. Let's just give it to him and give it a shot, which I guess was a good idea. But depending on what you read about this movie online, it's somewhere between he had a great vision or the studio got in and ruined it. And that's why it sucks. I guess it depends on who you tell your interview from.
Yeah. They've, I read a few actors saying that basically like the studio is the reason that it was bad. But also you're right, Bill, they had been kicking around a Planet of the Apes remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it, since the mid 80s. And actually this version, I guess James Cameron was attached to for a little while. Until he found mega success with Titanic. And then he was like, well, I don't give a crap about these apes.
I'm only making avatars from here on out.
Yeah, I'm going down to the bottom of the ocean in a one-man submarine.
Yeah. Man.
Now, I think I might have been keen on the Oliver Stone version of Planet of the Apes.
A lot of awful editing of like newsreels of like apes going crazy, apes going ape or whatever, like he does.
Ape and to the left.
Yeah. Was there one ape on the hill or was there more than one?
I would literally commit murder to see Oliver Stone combine JFK and Planet of the Apes. I want to see the ape JFK.
We got to get the fan edit going. You're saying that the studio might be the reason this movie is not as good as it was, but I also want to go back to this thing, Bill, that you were talking about with like, Tim Burton, his movies kind of became the vehicle for Tim Burton. I don't think anything about this movie screams Tim Burton at all. How about you guys?
I don't see a lot of his influence in this movie outside of his name being on it, but I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of it until you get to Ape City. I feel like once you get to Ape Cities in this movie, their version of it, it felt a lot like Gotham City to me in Batman.
Interesting.
Partially because it was a big set, which I didn't care for. The original Ape City in the movies had a lot more impact to me because it was outside and structures were built. And this thing is clearly a set, and when you get on it, it just looks faker than fake. But it's got a lot of I don't know. It's going to be almost like ape gothic is what I would call it. It's dark. It's always dark. There's never sunshine. There's never a lot. The greenery is not right. It's very like an urban gritty city in there. And that part feels very much like the way Tim Burton approached the way it needed to look for that. But outside of that, I don't see a lot. And that's probably maybe where the studio involvement messed up, and maybe that's good or bad. I can't really tell.
Yeah, you might even call it Ape Deco.
Wow.
There's like some Tim Burton, like the finer details, like in all of the costuming and like, Ape City. I mean, it feels just enough like a Tim Burton, but it doesn't have the kind of playfulness that the stuff that he did before this has. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Edward Scissorhands is so tongue-in-cheek. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is probably one of the top 20 funniest movies ever made.
Sure.
And maybe you see some of it in the fact that the apes in this movie, it doesn't take long for me to spot who they are once they come on screen.
Yeah.
And they're so much more, oddly enough, human than the other ones are that we see, and just the way that they kind of talk and look and act. It's just almost like something that Burton would come up with, kind of like how the Penguin came across in Batman Returns, kind of snarling man beast type of things, the animalistic tendencies. And of course, you've already got animals in the apes, and he's just flipped it and like, let's just put some human characteristics into these beasts. Like Thade is a maniac in this movie, and that feels very Burton-esque, to have like your main villain just be a complete lunatic that everybody else is just bouncing off of all of the time.
I don't know. Going back to that set you're talking about, Bill, you hit the nail on the head, because it reminded me of like the Lost Boys hangout in Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and to that extent made me think it felt more like a Spielberg take on Planet of the Apes, but only in like visual sense, because there's not a lot going on here, and we're going to ape on this for a bit. So maybe we should just start talking. We can each say a couple of things we actually enjoyed about the movie. How does that sound?
Sure
thing.
I'll start it off. I love that this movie takes place in 2029.
Always giving the human race too much credit with their technology.
Yeah.
It's the same year as like Terminator, right?
But Terminator at least is made in the 80s. This is like, in almost 30 years, we'll be interstellar space travel, still be using chimps to test things. Nothing will be automated at all. Technology will bring us out to living in space, but we won't be able to remote control our spacecraft.
All our space stations will look like an Apple store.
Yeah. With cages, which maybe that is fairly true.
They'll be manned by people that for some reason, when they see a video of themselves on screen, will not be able to recognize it's themselves.
Yeah.
It's a weird future to be in.
What about you, Bill? What's something you liked about it?
So I love overall that this movie is not really even a reboot. It's a
Imagining?
It's a reimagining, there you go, of this entire story, which is good. I think if you're going to do these things, especially if you're going to give a Tim Burton a movie like this, do reimagine. Don't be completely just trying to find all the story beats that you hit in the last one, recast and go for it. So I am appreciative of the fact that this movie started out and I'm like, this ain't no Planet of the Apes that I recognize, this weird corkscrew space station out by Saturn for some reason. And it's just kind of, I won't say it was good in some ways, but at least it got me like, we're going to take a different path on this. That's interesting. So that was refreshing. So good on them for at least trying something new.
Yeah. What about you, Joe? What is your shining jewel from this?
You know, it looks really good. It looks good. Also,
Yeah.
God bless the costuming and everything that Rick Scott. It's Rick Scott, right? That did
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker. God dang it. That he did for this is just, it's top tier and it looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. But to Bill's point, the second that Paul Giamatti's character Limbo comes on stage, I was like, is that fucking Paul Giamatti? And Google, of course it is. Of course it is. And he based his character off of W.C. Fields, which after reading that, it's impossible not to hear it.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, we got these humans here. You guys want humans?
Who wants some aspirin? Say, how do you know what aspirin is?
That kind of stuff drives me nuts about this movie. But I'll just throw my second one in there now because we did it. Yeah, Rick Baker's makeup is outstanding. It's outstanding in this movie. The first Apes movie was so amazing for its time, but I'm watching this and I'm going, this is not CGI. I think 2001. That's why this looks so good. I know Rob and we talked about, the CGI in the prequel movies, the newer ones. It's like, it looks pretty good. And as they went along, it's like, yeah, this looks better and better. And now I'm watching this. And the minute that Tim Roth came on screen, I'm like, this fucking guy looks better than anything they did a few years ago. This blows it out of the water.
Yes. That's I think Rob and I have talked about this a bit, but in the last 2 or 3 years, going back and watching movies, even from this era that aren't this isn't a great movie. It's a bad schlocky movie. That's not, it's only a little fun. But going back and watching movies from this era where the practical effects are just so incredible, it almost makes the movie seem like a great film. A lot of these kind of junk movies from the 90s and 80s, it's like, fuck, this looks so much better than CGI could ever look. It looks natural.
It does. It looks amazing. And they showed him on there when they're putting on the makeup. The Baker, all his makeup was made to let them act through it. The actors all said it. The war makeup, they're like, we can act through this. And it's great. And it kind of reinforces after about 45 minutes, this movie, I'm going, yep, you know what's wrong with Planet of the Apes? Too many humans and not enough apes.
That's right.
If this had just been all apes all the time, I think this would have been so much better as a movie.
You're right. I don't know if you guys browsed through some of the trivia on this, but one of my favorite pieces of trivia was that Rick Baker, while they were making this, he would put on his ape makeup and go to drive-in theaters where they were showing Planet of the Apes in Los Angeles and startle the shit out of people. Just
that's awesome.
Get up, against their window, just startle them.
And that's great because they did that. Roddy McDowall and the cast did that back in the day when they were going to set. It must be like a rite of passage that ape shall scare shit out of normal who's not ape.
Oh my God.
Speaking of costuming and, some of the trivia, apparently the female chimpanzees were not going to have eyebrows in this movie.
I saw
but they were added after the first results were deemed too unsettling.
Yeah.
And so then they gave them the pencil eyebrows.
What they should have done is made it really, really blatantly like a chola, eyeliner eyebrows, 1990s, just very thin.
And big hoop earrings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big statement necklaces. That would have been good.
Almost like in the, Bill, you were talking back when we were watching those newer Apes movies towards the beginning of the series, how there were long discussions on how to make an ape
attractive,
sexy, attractive.
Yeah. We
we
went and find the most, I got to say, when they walk on screen, I'm like, oh, yeah, we took some extra humanization for these ladies and not looking bad.
I might pull a Mark Wahlberg on this ape.
Oh, but can you imagine the scene where they go to the salon and have those eyebrows waxed? Good Lord.
That's more of a escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, they never show the strip mall where these lady apes are having their eyebrows microbladed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing, guys. My final is that for as odd as this film is, it does keep moving.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, there are a couple of slower moments, but in comparison to some of the Franco trilogy, this movie keeps its pace and does a good job of you may not like it, but at least it's chugging along.
Real, truly.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a great. It does keep. It almost feels. I think everything that happens is like happens within a half a day. Like the first 45 to 50 minutes of the movie is just like, and now we're here, and now we're over there, and we're in jail, we're in the house, we're doing a thing to the point where we don't even have time to hide when we escape Ape City. We run through all the most crowded places there are, right in front of the people we're trying to avoid. And just, doors open, we got to go.
Bill, you know who'd love this?
Who's that?
Stu from Piloting Error.
True.
Because he loves a movie that all happens in like a day in real time. Did you know that, Joe? We found that out when we watched The Stoned Age with him.
I did know that. I was going to say that he would love this movie because he loves the band The Monkees.
And speaking of chugging along like this film, now let's dig a hole of dislikes, gentlemen. And, you know, it's an easy film to say this sucks or that sucks or whatever sucks, but I kind of already stated my first one, so I'll go first. I don't think anything in this movie actually says Tim Burton. I think you have to pull something to say, like you said, Bill, like Tim Roth's character of Thade, like, yeah, I guess a maniacal bad guy. That makes sense for a Tim Burton film, you know? Weird costumes, like you're saying, Joe. Like, yeah, okay. But like, this movie does not have a guy with scissors for hands. It has a planet full of apes, but that's not a Tim Burton idea.
You know, Rob, maybe the element that's missing is that slight element of horror that Tim Burton brings to his movies.
It's a little horrifying, right?
It is.
But it's a stretch to call it Tim Burton horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, there's no Vincent Price, dash of Price in this movie.
Yeah, there's no, like, disfigured creature that is part of the plot or some deep-seated trauma that everybody can hang on to. It's just not really there. That part's missing.
And can I tell you what I think it might be? That Mark Wahlberg stars in this movie. It's Mark Wahlberg in a Tim Burton film. Like, that sentence should not exist.
It's an ape, not a transformer.
Yeah, he turned down Ocean's 11 to be in this. He was going to be in the Matt Damon role in Ocean's 11.
Oh my God. You know, I know how Mark Wahlberg likes to wake up at like 3 a.m. and pray and work out, but like, Jesus Christ. Bill and I were talking about it. Ever since he's like apologized for every shitty thing he's done, he's become like a blank canvas of boring.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it's probably for the best for him, but he brings nothing to this movie. And I think it actually sucks everything Tim Burton-y out of it.
Yeah. We better be careful with what we say about Mark Wahlberg because he might, I don't know, find us and blind us.
I don't think he'd be that enthused. I think he'd be too bored.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He'd be too sleepy because he would have.
Sorry, guys. I got to get back to the gym. I don't have time to beat you.
I'm working on Pain and Gain 4.
Pain and Gain's kind of good.
Yeah,
I can't lie about it. It's kind of fun. It's classic dumb guy shit.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you got to love Pain and Gain the same way you love like Fast X, you know?
Yeah.
But Joe, what's something you disliked about this movie?
Oh God. Just about everything other than what I mentioned. I know Mark Wahlberg can be good in movies, but he is just so fucking boring in this.
Yeah.
I didn't like that they killed Chris Christopherson. I didn't like that. It's just kind of a boring movie to watch. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's the perfect time. It's 2 hours exactly, which I appreciate.
Sure.
It looks fantastic, but there's just nothing there.
Yeah. What about you, Bill? What's something you disliked about this?
Well, my nothing is called Leo Davidson because I'm with you guys on this. I had the same note, and it just bears repeating that I don't think this is Mark Wahlberg in this movie. He has no charisma. He has no emotion. He has no military skill. He has no sense. And he's the first like main person you see hit the screen. And it just sets the tone right out of the gate of like, son of a bitch. This is just not good, is it? Because he speaks in tropes, it's like, just let me do my job. What is your job? And your job is apparently to defy the orders of your superiors and then think it's cool. And like, he defies the laws of physics because he should have been turned into pudding 10 ways from Sunday in this movie. From the crash to the other crash to the apes getting he's just no good, and he has no plan. All he wants to do is leave, but it's like if you and I woke up tomorrow and just were like, we need to get back to Mars. Like, no, there's no way to do this. There's no plan here. And he just thunders on through everything with kind of that blank stare on his face like, don't know what I'm going to do next. And I keep waiting for him to just take off his shirt, flex 3 times, look in the mirror, and go, well, that's it, everybody. Good night. And the movie's over. So just a different actor. Almost any other actor. You could have put Jean-Claude Van Damme in this damn movie, and it would have had a better tone to it.
Hold on a second. Are you disparaging the name of my beloved JCVD?
No, I'm saying he would have improved this movie. The muscles from Brussels against an ape all day long, baby.
Oh, I'd love it.
He would do that split.
Yeah, your apes are in trouble. I can do splits and I can kick really high.
Well, how about we just bring the Kumite to the planet of the apes?
You bring me an ape that looks like Chong Li and JCVD in a ripped astronaut uniform, you've got a better movie.
Oh my God. Man. Absolutely. Bolo Young, man.
Uh-huh.
Well, the only other thing I'll say in my dislikes portion, and I know this is going to be controversial, guys, because there is a moment, I'm going to say that there's not, but there is no Statue of Liberty moment. We know there's the Abraham Lincoln, Chimperham Lincoln moment that I'm sure we'll talk about soon enough.
Sure.
But it is not the same as the reveal of, I don't know, something's different. And I just feel like this movie was chugging along, has its tacked on ending that I would love to save for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But everything leading up to that moment, there's no peaks and no valleys, really. It's just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You learn he's a stranger in a strange land, and it doesn't get any different than that.
Yeah, there's no build-up, and there's no icon. Like you said, the space station is the Statue of Liberty moment. We don't know what that is. They even try to shoot it the same way from down and then towards the sand as they walk up to it, but it doesn't make any difference because we're like, this is just some rusted metal, and we kind of already know what it is because we're not idiots like the people at the beginning of the movie. And we're like, yeah, you people are all dead and you're going down. Of course, it's the station. So there is no emotional stake in that whatsoever. Hard agree with you on that one, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any other dislikes, Bill?
The fact that thousands-year-old technology still works is right up there with it for me. Yeah. And I like knowing that if your space station crashes, it crashes in a way that only part of it's destroyed. The rest somehow is magically underground. All the power conduits will remain active for some reason. And
it's got a nuclear battery.
Yeah. And the stuff that's above ground apparently just gets covered in dried pudding. And you just kind of knock it off and it still works. It's like, no movie. I didn't like it when Battlefield Earth did it. I sure as fuck don't like it when you do it, Tim Burton. Thanks for nothing.
And to that point, Bill, like, what do they call this sacred lamb? Like Camila, right? Because it was what does he shake the dust off? And it's like
caution live animals.
So that dust has been just like that, showing Camila.
This whole movie is not a story. It is literally just a thing they wrote down and put no thought into.
Or Kalima, whatever it is.
Galimal. But no, it's just bad. The whole thing, and it all branches off there. All the parts that should work, it's like they do. And why does nuclear fuel for no reason shoot out the giant hole that's left in your? Is that the rocket hole? Why does any of this work?
And why is it that he gives this speech that he's like, yeah, on my planet, this has worked where the underdogs have won. Oh, okay. And so I can burn the first wave of 20 apes that come at us. They have this line in there where he's like, you won't defeat him. He's like, I want them to keep coming. And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
Why? You've got nothing after you burn that one fuel cell.
You fired your one bullet, Barney Fife. You're done, dude. There's nothing left. And the Book of War is written by Mark Wahlberg instead of Sun Tzu. Apparently is booklet size. And it literally has try to get your enemy to stand in front of a fire that should not work and then shoot it at them.
Yeah. And they'll still live too.
With your unarmed, unwashed, unhealthy civilians stacked up behind it, and you just yell, "Come on!" You're like, no, this man's never going to make Patton 2 in my book. No.
It's basically just a one sheet that says, if I was on those planes, it wouldn't have gone down like that.
Let's roll. Okay. Joe, is there anything else that you would like to point out in the dislike category, or should we move on to amusing moments? The sillies, if you will.
Let's move along to the goofies, the sillies.
Goof Troop, here we go. Bill, do you want to start us off on the sillies?
Sure. And this is a doozy one, because I'm going to say, as much as we've dogged on this movie, there are some amusing moments, and this one hit me hard. The bedroom ape seduction scene. I have never wanted to holler down a hall and have my wife come in the room to watch a thing more than when I watch this. Not to try and act it out in our own lives, just to be like, look at this.
Sure, doth protest too much.
This is amazing. And if you do think it's cute, let's talk later. But when the orangutan's wife comes out, she does her seduction dance, and they just suddenly revert from they're fairly human-esque when you see these apes up until this point. Like they ooh and they move a little bit and stuff. But they talk like they're very elegant with their talking. And then all of a sudden it is full on show your hindquarters and hang from the ceiling. It's just fucking great. I'm just like, the one thing I was scared about, I was like, oh man, we're not going to go Howard the Duck and we're not going to see hairy lady ape, are we? This is, I don't want that. Don't let that be the part that sneaks into this movie. And they broke that up, but God, that was funny.
That was great. I love it. And I love that you can get a little bit of each one of these apes' lives, but they're like, this is the scene we're going to show during the escape sequence. This is the one we gotta really put in there.
Yeah, and apparently ape shall not lock door of other ape. Like they run roughshod through this place.
And also, just on top of that, Helena Bonham Carter's character, almost tries to seduce Thade at once. And you're kind of like, I don't know if this is necessary either, but it's funny to watch as two apes. That's for sure. Joe, what was a silly that you thought in this movie?
His ape companion showing up as a deus ex machina at the end. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, here, take my hand. We're going to introduce you to the other apes. You get a little treat. And guess what? You're going to stop us from getting murdered.
And why did that ape show up after the fact? Didn't he go through first?
Yeah. Somebody in either the comments or the trivia or something on IMDb mentioned their theory that whatever goes through before comes later or something, which is just like, what are you fucking talking about?
Great theory.
Time travel.
Yeah. Time travel. Everybody watch Primer.
Primer. Oh my God.
Great film.
I love great films that also give me a headache.
One of my favorite little, I don't know if it's really silly, but one of the little details in this, they're war costumes. They're red, muscle costumes are almost identical to Dracula's war costume.
Yes.
Costume in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes.
Yeah, we needed more heads on pikes.
Yeah,
that weird leather armor it's foreboding, and that even kills a dude with his hat. He's got lethal haberdashery.
Yeah,
that's hardcore.
We haven't even spoke about how awesome Michael Clark Duncan has been in this movie, though.
Yeah, let's take a moment to do that because he is great.
Yeah,
he is great. And you just kind of wait for him to just grab Tim Roth by the neck and go, "I'm tired of your bullshit, dude."
Yeah.
And you do
he gets
get
to
that
have
moment.
the damn dirty human line.
Oh, deliver me from that.
You knew it was coming, Bill.
I know.
You knew it was coming.
I
don't
know.
like that line, Bill?
I know. It's just too in your face when they flip it around. It just it
well, and
didn't
especially
land well.
having sat through all of these other ape movies where they try and shoehorn in something like that.
I'm totally with you, Bill.
Now, side note, flip it around. I can tell you when the Charlton Heston cameo, I loved it.
Did you really?
I loved
do you know
every
who?
minute.
Do you know who didn't love it?
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. That's right. Because he was or is probably, I would assume, a big anti-gun activist, and he was kind of like, if I had known Charlton Heston was going to be in this, I wouldn't have been in it. But I don't know.
But
man.
you did choose to be in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, you had to know he was still alive. You had to know
they were going to do something with old Chuck.
And your beliefs are your beliefs, and he's more than welcome to him. Everybody's got to draw the line somewhere. But
I totally respect his ideals on this.
I think it probably added to the scene because he was already unhinged as a character, so he must have channeled it, and it kind of worked pretty well because I just love the fact that I know we don't have a real champ chip in this episode, but I'm giving it to Heston for doing that cameo. And it took a second to realize it was him. I knew he was in it, and I went, "You've got to be kidding!" So good on him for having a sense of humor about it and going, "Fine, I'll put the makeup on one time." And I think it was, and he delivered a line. He got one of his lines in, and I think that line, "Damn them all to hell," that worked. That was really cool.
And I love that he gets a deathbed scene.
Oh, so good.
Oh yeah, he basically has the joke scene from Family Guy where he gets shot. He's like,
"Yeah,
that's all right, son. It's your right as an American."
Yeah, and he gets the last laugh on Wahlberg for dogging on him for having to run around in a loincloth, which Wahlberg wouldn't do. And Heston gets more emotion and thrill out of 2.5 minutes on screen than Wahlberg got out of the whole movie. So yeah, maybe you should have put on a loincloth, Marky.
Maybe they should have hired Donnie.
So here's a couple. He was too busy riding that Sixth Sense wave. So anyway, there's a couple things I want to say. At the end of this movie, it was amusing to me that Mark Wahlberg, him and Helena Bonham Carter kiss as monkey and man. But then he immediately goes off and also kisses Slave Girl.
Sure.
And it's just like, I need to get as many kisses in as possible before I go off in my spaceship.
You never said we were exclusive.
Yeah. And then, but when they're about to have the army and that kid falls off the horse, that might have been the funniest thing in the world. Like, no, it's too dangerous. And then right as it's like, all right, go, the kid turns and just immediately falls. Like,
dude,
I actually laughed out loud when that happened.
That kid sucks. He is the cousin Oliver of this movie.
Oh yeah.
The standard. He almost doesn't talk for 3/4 of this movie.
There's no reason he's even in it.
No,
there's no point
other than this point to defy Mark Wahlberg's character and do the very thing he asked him 3 times not to do.
Yep.
But I got to say, these particular humans, especially Stella Warren, one of some of the nicest savage humans you'll ever see. Her makeup was flawless to this entire movie.
Dude, I thought the same thing. Both her and Chris Christopherson had like just out of the salon wavy hair.
He just looked like himself.
Yeah, he still had his Whistler hair from Blade.
100% he did.
And he's going to come back to life like in Blade 2.
Maybe.
Thought he was dead.
But they gave Bryce Dallas Howard a bunch of shit for running through the jungle in high heels in one of the Jurassic Park movies. I think go back and look at Estella Warren in her perfect Barbizon look as she lives on a savage earth for her 20-some years of life, yet not a mark on her. Everything looks great.
Sometimes it just be that way.
I guess so.
Sometimes. Well, guys, I think finally for the amusing moment, we got to talk about the time travel logistics and how this movie ends.
Wow.
We brought up Terminator earlier, and Terminator, it's like all checks the box because it's just circular, right? Terminators don't exist without the Terminator going back in time. doesn't really matter. You don't have to think too hard about it because it's circular logic. This movie, there's an ion storm, very Star Trek situation.
Uh-huh.
Timelines are messed up. Everyone gets, the first monkey goes in, but he comes up last. Mark Wahlberg goes in, and then the spaceship that both Mark Wahlberg and the monkey go in. So, Joe, the theory you read said if you go in first, you come in last. Well, that doesn't hold up because the spaceship's there, right?
Well, yeah, and that would mean that there was like a linear point. There's one point where if you come in before or after that, then you come in after or before that.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't. But here's the thing that I don't think I gathered when I saw this movie in theaters my sophomore year of high school or whenever this came out. And maybe I wasn't paying attention as close as I should have been. But Chimperham Lincoln, so Mark Wahlberg escapes, he lands on Earth, is at the Lincoln Memorial, but it turns out to be the Thade Memorial. And this is akin to when Helena Bonham Carter said that, one day people are going to forget about this, but I'll know that you came and saved us. And history has been rewritten so much that now Thade is the savior, and we are in what seems to be modern times for us on our planet, but on this Planet of the Apes planet. Mm-hmm. We got cops that are shooting first and asking questions later.
Yep.
We've got onlookers taking photos, and everyone is thankful for Thade for saving them, which when we think even further in on this, what are we saying about Abraham Lincoln in this moment? And I think that's pretty fucked up. But besides that off to the side, what is going on here? I would just need to know your guys' thoughts. Does he just travel to the future of the same planet he's on then?
That would be my assumption. Helena Bonham Carter's explanation of it was that, well, clearly Thade beat him to that timeline and became like the leader or whatever.
Didn't Thade die by shooting himself in the...
No, he's alive.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hit by those bazillion ricochets that shoot off in that room.
But he is still trapped in that area.
He's trapped in the room. So the only thing I can see about this is, well, one, I'm going to go on record. The time travel in this movie, for me, and you know me about time travel, is bullshit. Yeah. It's the biggest pile of bullshit ever because the storm doesn't make any difference. Makes no sense. It's all random.
No.
Bill's going to be putting $1 in the time travel jar.
Well, to the point where Wahlberg he tries to take the miles off the Ferrari by flying in backwards into the thing with no idea. It's like, dude, you don't know anything about this. You don't even know that will help you at all. But he gets to where he's going. When he takes off, and throughout this movie in the background, you see this planet that he's on has more than one moon.
Yeah.
2 moons. So my only thing I can think of is that when Wahlberg goes back through the storm, maybe he winds up on a parallel universe, and that's what this Earth turned into, or something like that. Or at some point, they finds another pod, which of course would be working in that shithole of a space station, and steals it, and he flies into the storm and winds up and goes back to Mark Wahlberg's Earth and ruins it. There's a whole movie we've missed between Wahlberg taking off and the end of this movie that makes the end of it completely unintelligible.
Totally. Joe, is there anything that we have not touched on yet that you feel like we need to talk about with Chimperham Lincoln?
Oh, yeah, my theater experience. Has this ever been aired?
Oh, yeah. It was on the Nick Fury episode.
Okay.
But anyone who hasn't heard this story, please tell it again.
It bears repeating.
So I saw this opening night at a midnight showing, and we sit through this entire movie, and we get to the very end where Mark Wahlberg's spaceship is just about to land outside the Lincoln Memorial, and this hillbilly stands up and he goes, "I swear to God, if that guy has a monkey face, I'm out of here." And it pans around and you see Chimperham Lincoln, and this guy just goes, "That's it, I'm out of here," and he walks out of the fucking theater. The movie is over. It's over at that point. But he was so incensed by Abraham Chimperham Lincoln. Just perfection.
There are no rules. When it's time to take a stand, it's time to take a stand.
That's right.
Yeah.
This guy, it might have actually been Mark Wahlberg.
That would have been awesome.
I swear to God, if that guy has a monkey face, I'm fucking out of here. It wouldn't have gone down this way if I had directed this movie.
And you know who was probably in your theater? Michael Bay. And he saw that reaction. He went, I got to get him in my Transformers movie someday.
That's right.
It's going to be great.
Oh my God. Well, gentlemen, this has been great. But Bill, you have one last thing we need to do on today's episode.
We do indeed. One last thing and one sub moment when we do our Halloween episode. I think I'm going to go as Chimperham Lincoln for Halloween this year. Rob, would you like to go as Mark Wahlberg? Captain Leo Davidson.
I'll go as Helena Bottom Carter with her fun little eyebrows.
Done. Done. We're going to do our special rating system for this that we do for these episodes, especially when we have guests. We call this section 5 Nights for $1. And that's where we think about this movie. If we'd gone to the video store and rented it, back in the day, there used to be a section. Usually it was a bunch of movies and it would say something like 5 nights for $1. Give them your buck. You keep it up to 5 nights, depending on whether you wanted to or not. And so this system totally rates this movie on its own, has nothing to do with any other movie, no other Apes movies, no anything. If you'd gone to the video store back in the day, you put down your $1, you've gone home, you've watched Planet of the Apes 2001. How many of those 5 nights are you going to keep this movie? How much of an impact has it had on you? And I think we'll start with you, Rob. How long are you going to keep Planet of the Apes 2001?
Wow. In past episodes, some people have rated this on if they were, renting this at the time of video rentals, right? So the hard part is, do I do it, 2001 when I'm renting a movie or buying the DVD from Sam Goody's Suncoast? Or do I do it now? And I have kind of always been just do it as it is now, right? And here's the other part. I don't remember what I rated any of the other Ape films. And of course, we have to rate this on its own. It is not compared to any of the other Ape films. But there are aspects to this that I liked. And I think I'm going to have to give it 2.5 days. I'll watch it once or fall asleep to it one day, try and finish it the next day, and then see if there's anything else on it that I'll want to revisit before I go out and run some errands and return it. So 2.5.
That's awesome. That's actually higher than I thought you were going to rate it. So
wow.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to go next because I'm going to have our guests go last. It always seems appropriate. I want to like this movie more than I do, which is a sad state of affairs. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Rob. There are some things I like about it. There are moments I like. The problem is they're just moments that I like. And the rest of it is reminding me of a better movie that could have been if we just once again scrapped the humans and just done a Planet of the Apes and let them go crazy on that kind of thing. So there are things I would probably rewind in a moment more than I would go back and rewatch. That's going to be my best bet. So all in all, I'm probably going to keep this movie for 1.5 nights. And I'm probably going to be thinking about keeping it that other half a night. And then I'm probably going to do it because I'm too tired to think about it. And I'm going to rewind. I'm going to rewind Chimperham Lincoln. I'm going to keep it not so much to watch the movie. That other half of that night is going to be for rewinding and looking again at this thing going, how the fuck does this work? How does it work? And trying to come up with a better movie in my head for what I just saw. And probably to listen to that thumping end credits theme, which I kind of like. It's not bad. Yeah. And so I'm going to give it 2. I'm going to keep it for 2. And then, I'm going to swing on a vine over to Blockbuster Video and I'm going to drop this bad boy like it's nuclear fuel that's got to be spent and blown out of your space station for no good reason. So that's my take on it. How about you, Joe? What do you got?
Oh my God. All right. So what night of the week am I renting this on?
Ooh.
Like, if I'm renting this on a Thursday or Friday, that's a 1. I'm taking that back immediately and I'm walking my ass back to Blockbuster and getting the original Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably give it 2 days before I take it back if it's any other day. Just this, like you said, Bill, there's some stuff that bears rewatching. I mean, on this rewatch, I legitimately rewound the Chimperham Lincoln scene 5 or 6 times. Easy. Easy. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, especially now that we have all these very bad movies that no one should ever watch. Anything made by a streaming service is so much worse than something like this, where it's actually made by people and not by an algorithm, and so many hands were involved in making everything look as good as they possibly could. So yeah, probably 2 days. 2 days.
Yeah, I'm with you. This movie definitely kills anything the Asylum could possibly ever put out.
Absolutely. And it has Deep Roy in it, which who doesn't love Deep Roy? Come on.
Well, if Rob had gotten his Steven Spielberg movie, this would have been about Deep Roy. It would have all been from that kid's vision.
Hell yeah.
And he would have flown Mark Wahlberg home on his bicycle in the basket.
Well, gentlemen, I'm glad that we actually committed to this, because it is a journey. It's a destination. It's a planet of the apes. And we're all just apes, aren't we, here? And this concludes, Joe, I don't know if you knew this, but this concludes our Planet of the Apes journey. Which, as of this recording, is only about to start for our listeners. So,
holy shit. Well, can I tell you two silly things?
Oh, bring on the sillies.
Okay, so when I was probably 12, I went and I stayed with my uncle and aunt in Utah, and for some reason they are super into Planet of the Apes. So my uncle, who's my mom's younger brother, made me watch all the Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh.
And at the beginning of the first or second one, he tells me, hey, you got to figure out, there's something in this movie that's modern technology, but there's something very off about it that they tried to futurize. And I watched through these movies and realized they are using like handheld phones, but they don't have the cord from the phone to the base.
I talked about that.
Did you?
I talked about that. That is in Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
That is such a good, weird detail.
Yes.
But then also the most scared that I have been of a Planet of the Apes movie is in Escape from the Planet of the Apes. At the end, when it shows Caesar in his crib and they loop it back and forth and he's just going, mama, mama, mama. Freaked me the absolute fuck out as a fucking preteen. Terrifying. Terrifying.
It was pretty spooky. What a way. What a way to end this series, Joe.
I'm so glad y'all had me on to end this.
We were glad to have you. I'm very glad because I will give this movie this much credit. I think it was a fun movie to end on after, especially so much darkness in the other movies. So if nothing else, it gave us a chance to have a bunch of laughs, which is why we're all here in the first place.
Well, totally.
Which ones are dark? Other than obviously Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Well, we marked how they get more violent as they go, and then the story of the apes gets more. They get the humans are kind of all blown away, and then there's the final war at the end, which is actually we've marked the last movie is not quite. I don't think it's quite as dark as Conquest. I don't think Battle is right up there,
but it's
bad.
Weird and not when it's dark in a whole other way.
Yeah, there's some character deaths, especially of small children, that you're like, this is a movie we made for kids. So.
Well, I have a question for you, Bill, because last time Joe was on the show, we revealed that we were going to do Planet of the Apes. Would you like to reveal what we're going to do next as a series?
I would very much like to do that.
Officially?
Uh-huh.
You've talked about it a little bit, but it's never been official.
Yeah, I've talked about this a little bit, so I'm going to take a little bit of a stretch. One of the things Rob and I have always done, which started this, was we did some movies that were a little more off the beaten path, a little more, wilder, a little more indie, a little more strange. And I kind of want to get back to that. So I had this idea stuck in my head. Our next series that I've decided is going to be called Sibling Rivalry. And the basis of this series will be we're going to watch movies that invoke a feeling. It's the feeling I had when you turn on a movie, you've never seen it before, like on HBO or back in the day, and the cast starts to roll, and you'd see like, ooh, there's a Swayze in this, but it's not Patrick Swayze. Oh. It's Don Swayze.
Oh.
And it's not Chuck Norris. It's Eric Norris.
Oh, my God.
And Aaron Norris. And Eric Roberts. And Chris Penn. So I'm going to set up a series of movies where the siblings of the famous actors are the stars of these movies, and cherry pick some of those out, and we're going to watch those and see if I can find for me that old feeling of like, oh, this is setting a tone. When we didn't get the A-list, we got their brother.
Yeah, love it.
Oh my
love
God. It! Brilliant.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, that's it for this round of Bill and Rob's An Excellent Adventure. Joe, why don't you remind people to where they can find Piloting Error?
Oh, yeah.
And what it's about.
It's we review different pilots who have flown planes that we've been on. Latest
Sully,
episode was
he's
about
a
Sully.
Repeat guest. Yeah.
George Kennedy in Airport 79.
Yeah. John Denver. No, it's Jesus. So it's a show about failed TV pilots that are totally forgotten. We have a ton that we do. They're a ton of fun. Bill and Rob have both been on it. Bill, I think by the time this comes out, you will have been on the show again solo.
Yeah, I missed the invite to that one, but whatever.
Maybe we'll have a surprise guest.
No, I need my own solo episode again. Anyway.
So, yeah, we find these old pilots on YouTube and elsewhere and sort of go over them with our funny friends. And it's a great time. We're on all of the podcast things.
Yeah, you can find it wherever you're listening to podcasts. Just search Piloting Error. Mm-hmm. Or go to bridgeburner.page and you can get a direct link to it.
That's right. So, you can also follow us at Piloting Error on Twitter.
Yeah, but don't do it on Instagram because it won't actually say the name Piloting Error. It will say supplementary information.
Hey, Stuart, if you're listening to this, fix your shit.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, Stu.
You fucked up.
You screwed up.
Tonight on Hey, Stu.
And also check out our new sitcom. It's called Hey Stu. Bill and I are head writers. Rob's producing. It's going to be on ABC Thursday nights at 8 p.m. right after Old Sheldon.
And Super Train 2, The Next Generation.
You have to love it. You have to love it.
You do have to love it. And I will say, please, everybody, don't just go and check out their show, subscribe to it, because I was listening to it before I got to know these guys. And the show's great, especially if you love old, weird, failed TV. It's just the best to dig into some of these things. So please do go check them out.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Well, with that, we should probably travel back in time or into the future or something and get the hell out of here. So I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.